What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Play by Play with Jay. I'm your host, Jordan, aka Jay, and welcome to episode 2 of season 4 of your favorite podcast. I don't really know how I feel about this. And what I mean I don't know how I feel about this is that I don't really want to speak on this too much because it genuinely makes my heart hurt. Like, how many times are we gonna have to wake up, get on our phones, turn on the TV, whatever the case is, and see that X amount of people are now, severely injured and or deceased due to gun violence? How many times? In this country, a lot of people come here because of better education, better human rights, better pay, just a long list of reasons of why America is a sought after country. We're sought after. We're considered in high regard, But are we really safe here? Why is it that there are a lot of things in life where we set an age limit on it, right? What is it? Driving, right? You had to be, in Maryland, you had to be 15 and 9 months to start driving, right? They increased it, but buying tobacco products, it was 18, now it's 21. Buying alcohol, it's 21. Something as small as like renting a car. If you go to a car rental place, if you're 25 and over, like there's an additional fee if you're between the ages of 21 and 24. Like things like that. Is there that for gun? I wouldn't know because I've never had a desire to own a gun. I mean, I know some women do it for security purposes, but for me, I would want them to ask me some questions. I have to go through an application. I have to, take a couple of tests. When we're taking our driver's test, we have to do the skills test and we have to do the written test. You know what I'm saying? Like, where are the hoops and hurdles for getting a gun? Why was it so easy for that college kid to go get a gun and then go on a school trip and then shoot his classmates? Why was that so easy in 2022? Why? The way the story, I saw a couple videos since it's all, happened and unfolded, and one of the girls who was on this trip, so what happened was UVA, University of Virginia, they went on a class trip to DC, not far for them, went on a bus trip to DC, and allegedly the shooter and the 3 victims hadn't spoken the entire trip. The 3 victims were on the UVA football team. The one shooter, he was previously on the football team, but hadn't been on the team. It was recorded in about a year. And I don't know if there's reports on that as to why yet. I haven't seen anything as to why he wasn't on the team for the last year, but he wasn't. But he knows them, right? And it wasn't until they're pulling into the garage, the parking garage back at UVA that, the shooter approaches them and he's like, from what the other student said, the real life encounter, she said she heard him say, you guys were always mean to me. You guys always, picked on me or whatever. And next thing you know, shots start firing. And she said shots and shots and shots. And you just kept hearing shots and shots and shots. And then he just casually kind of like walked off the bus or whatever. And I don't know, I guess tried to flee. The police said it was a 12-hour manhunt to go find him. And then more started coming out. They said that there were reports that he might have been bullied. There might have been a hazing incident, on the football team. We're in the day and age where instead of going to talk to somebody, or instead of going to get help, or instead of trying to confront the person or people face to face, we go get a gun. We go get a weapon. We say, this is how I'm going to show you, right? I've seen so many instances in today's society where people are bringing guns to a fist fight. And I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm always going to encourage, the Martin Luther King approach, if you will, as opposed to the Malcolm X. That's me. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. We don't even need to resort to violence at all. To be honest, we don't even need to raise our voice. You don't even have to yell and scream. Let's talk like adults and use our words and figure it out. And there are some people who say, bump that. I'm going to show them a lesson that they'll never forget. But in turn, you're hurting more than just that person. You're hurting yourself as well. So while I saw them interview the shooter's father. And he was just like, I don't even know how it got to this point. He said, why didn't he call me? Why didn't he text me? Why did he say something? What's going on? And that's why I'm like, and this is hard for me, because my whole mother, my biological mother, you know, she's not anymore, but she, for a majority of her professional career, she was a counselor. She counsels me every daggone day. You know, everything is, well, Jordan, how did that make you feel? Well, are you sure you're okay? Well, this. So in my life, I have to approach situations like this differently, because that's the kind of household that I grew up in. Not everybody grew up in that kind of conducive, you know, communicate, express your feelings, and open and honestly share how you feel regardless of the repercussions type of thing. I don't know. It's a bunch of what ifs and I don't knows and shoulda, woulda, couldas and all this stuff. But the bottom line is that 3 young men lost their life. Let me call them by their name. Devin Chandler, you know, Lavelle Davis Jr., Deshaun Perry, 3 black men who lost their life too soon, and something has to change. And I'm not just saying that because these are 3 college football black guys who passed away, because to be honest with you, I didn't even know of them prior to this. I'm not a big college football person personally. But it's like, it gets to a point, it's like, how many? This is considered a mass shooting. How many? How many more? How many? And I think there was another football player. I think there was 4 of them. Well, actually, I think there was 5 total. 3 who passed away, 2 who were injured. And I think one of the 2 was also a football player as well, but his family said that he's recovering well. The UVA football team said that they might not play the rest of this season. And to this point, they haven't been that good. They were 3-7 up to this point. They've lost actually their last 3 games. But they said that these 3 players in particular had such an impact on the field, you know, leadership, you know, making plays, you know, making the right decisions, you know, encouraging their team, whatever the case is. And that, you know, they're going to severely be missing, even if they weren't making impacts on the field, they would be severely missed. But it's been great to see the UVA community rally around, you know, the team, rally around the coaching staff, hopefully, you know, doing what they can to support the family. This is yet another tragic incident that could have been prevented. And it could have been prevented how? Stricter gun violence laws. I mean, I'm not a lawmaker. I'm not a policymaker. There's a reason why that's not my profession, my field of choice. I have no desire to be involved in that or in that process, but there are people who are. There are people who are willing to go to bat, go to war to make these changes. And I don't know what has to happen. How many more? I mean, what is it going to take? What is it going to take? The other day, I saw an article where a young man, he and his girlfriend got into a fight at the girlfriend's family's home. The boyfriend and the girlfriend were living together at the girlfriend's family home. And in their fight, he got so enraged that he killed her. He killed her sister. And then he killed her younger sister, who was about 2 or 3 years old. A baby. How many more lives? How easy was it for him to get that gun? How easy was it for this UVA shooter to get his gun? Is it as easy as them going to they mans going to they mans? How did the first person get the gun? I'm done. I'm fed up, because I don't know. I mean, I would be devastated if I heard that something like this happened to someone in my family, one of my friends, one of my family's friends. So sending nothing but prayers, love, you know, peace to the families and friends of these 3 young men. And I don't know, y'all. This is not how I wanted this episode to go. This is not what I wanted to talk about, but this is what needed to be addressed and talked about. I'm not sure what the next steps are, y'all. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's writing letters to the people in charge. I don't know what it's gonna take. I don't know. But everybody be safe. Everybody, you know, call your family, call your friends, tell them that you love them. Life is too short. Go out and live. Go out and take that leap of faith on that decision that you're waiting on. Go ahead and make that move. The thing that you're thinking about, do it, because you never know when your last day is when it's gonna be. And I feel like that's, in a way, it's such a cliche saying, but for me personally, since 2020, life has smacked me dead. Life has smacked me dead in my face. Life has shown me that even when we say life is short, it's shorter than that. So it's our job that as we're here, every day that we wake up, that we live, that we consciously choose to live and just do everything that we want to do in this world. And this isn't even how I want to finish this episode, because how do you finish it? How do you wrap up from saying, rest in peace to 3 young men? But I'm hoping that their souls are resting peacefully at the right hand of God. And I hope that the family and friends of these 3 victims can somehow in time find some sort of peace, some sort of just knowing that their loved ones' lives were not in vain, that they had such an impact on this earth, and that they'll be missed, and that their legacy is going to be used for something much greater than I think was anticipated. So with that, guys, I think that's it for this week's episode. I was thinking about touching on other things, but how can you when this is the issue at hand? This is the matter, and I think that we all just need to take time to actually address it, verbally address it, speak on it, talk about it, share our thoughts and our feelings, and try to see how we as a community can heal, and how can we get better. There's always a way to get better. So this country needs to figure out, how can we do that? How can we start saving people as opposed to having this happen and then trying to deal with the aftermath? I don't really have much more to say, but be safe, be well, stay healthy. I love all of you, each and every one of you. This is your girl Jordan, aka Jay, giving you the play-by-play each and every week. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.